A warm welcome to TV Africa News and thank you for always joining us. This is Africa Today. My name is Najima Lima, but first are the headlines. UPDF to withdraw from DRC in 2 weeks, says General Mhozi. NRM's Andrew Olanya's nomination challenged. Raila Odinga's coalition loses ally in the upcoming general elections. Vipers is past Mbarara City to storm Uganda Cup final. Welcome once again. Now the news in detail. The commander of the land forces, Lieutenant General Mhozi Kainerugaba, has revealed that if nothing changes, UPDF will withdraw from DRC, where it is pursuing ADF rebels. We have more on this story. Lieutenant General Mhozi said in a tweet on Tuesday that Operation Shuja will officially cease in about 2 weeks according to UPDF's original agreement. He added that unless he gets further instructions from their commander-in-chief, he will withdraw all Uganda's troops from DRC in 2 weeks. He explained that the agreement signed with the Congolese government for the joint pursuit of ADF rebels was for 6 months and ends in 2 weeks' time. The commander of the land forces in the UPDF, however, noted that everything can change if the leadership of the two countries sits and agrees to strike a new deal on the operation. Uganda in November 2021 launched air and artillery attacks on the ADF camps in the thick eastern DRC forests to launch Operation Shuja. The UPDF, using Nobili Kamango Mukakati route, opened the first offensive route against the rebel group, which saw the assault force advance deep into Virunga impenetrable forest, dislodging ADF terrorists in several camps, including their stronghold of Kambi Yayua, where various military attire and documents were recovered. A second route from Kasindi to Beni, Nobili R. Semliki Bridge, was opened before the third one from Bulasi to Boga, where the ADF airfield was seized by the UPDF. The joint forces of the UPDF has been able to dismantle ADF hideouts in DRC, and a number of their key commanders and fighters either arrested or killed. The Alliance for National Transformation candidate in Omoro by-elections, Kiza Oscar, has contested the nomination of the National Resistance Movement's Andrew Ojok Olanya. Kiza has given the Electoral Commission up to Friday, May 20th, 2022 to clarify on the nomination of Ojok Olanya, which he claims is inappropriate.
In a petition to the Electoral Commission, Chiza said that Ojok has a different name on his national ID and academic papers, yet he continues to use the name Olanya. Chiza added that the person nominated as Ojok Andrew Olanya does not exist and has no academic qualifications, but has instead attached and is using academic papers for Ojok Andrew O. Chiza claims that the person who was nominated by the NRM has no academic papers because the two names are different in law, which makes his nomination illegal. Chiza said that Ojok's nomination undermines the Parliamentary Act 2002 Section 13 and wants the EC to conclude that it was irregular and illegal. Tasked to comment on the allegations, Ojok said that he is not scared because he is sure that he has all the necessities required by the EC to contest.
Let's go for a short, quick break. We will be right back. If the observers had so far predicted the presidential contest would be a two-horse race between William Ruto and Raila Odinga, the Azimio la Umoja coalition nominee has just lost an ally. Kalonzo Musyoka, who was Odinga's running mate in 2013 and 2017, accepted to run for president for the Wiper Party. We have more.
On Monday, Kalonzo Musyoka, who was Odinga's running mate in 2013 and 2017, accepted to run for president under the Wiper Party banner, leaving the Azimio la Umoja coalition. On the same day, Odinga officially picked former Minister Martha Karua to serve as his running mate. The Karua and Odinga ticket is backed the Azimio la Umoja coalition formed ahead of the 9th August election. The Azimio la Umoja coalition brings together Mr. Kenyatta's Jubilee Party, Odinga's Orange Democratic Movement, and a dozen of other political groups. President Uhuru Kenyatta, who was already subject to term limit, has chosen to side with his former rival Raila Odinga. If Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential bid is validated, it will be the latest candidate in a contest already recording over 40 presidential aspirants. Over 7,000 candidates will vie in the August general elections.
South African former President Jacob Zuma's graft case resumed on Tuesday. The Pietermaritzburg High Court judge, however, postponed the trial to a holding date in August. His move enables the judge president of the Supreme Court of Appeal to give her final say on the reconsideration application filed by Jacob Zuma's defense. Despite the High Court and Supreme Court of Appeal dismissing their application in February, the former president's legal team later wrote to Judge Mandisa Maya. Zuma's defense has been pushing for the removal of Chief Prosecutor Billy Downer, accusing him of being biased. 80-year-old Zuma pleaded not guilty to charges of corruption, money laundering, and racketeering over a deal with the French arms firm Thales in the 1990s when Zuma served as South Africa's deputy president. Tuesday's adjournment is the latest in the former ANC leader corruption case. He failed to turn up for the resumption of his corruption trial last April, citing ill health. His case has been postponed multiple times since it opened in May 2021. Away from that, 3 men accused of war crimes took the stand for the first time on Monday during a special criminal court session in the Central African Republic. The court, a hybrid body of local and foreign magistrates set up in 2015 with UN backing, is to render judgment on alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity committed since 2003. Let's take a look.
The defendants are former members of the 3R military, which is accused of the massacre of 46 villagers in northwest Ka in May 2019. They face a long list of charges which include murder and torture. The 3R, which stand for Return, Reclamation and Rehabilitation, is one of the Ka's most powerful armed groups, drawn mainly from Fulani ethnic group. One of the accused, Issa Selet Doum, appealed for celibacy. One of the poorest and most volatile countries in the world, the Ka plunged into civil war in 2013 largely along sectarian lines. Violence fell back in intensity in 2018, but as recent as early 2021, 2/3 of the country lay in the hands of armed groups spawned in the conflict. President Faustin Archange Touadéra's weak government has struggled to impose order in the vast country.
Moving on, 5 opposition leaders were charged and jailed on Monday in Chad for disturbing public order during a Saturday demonstration against France, accused of supporting the military junta, according to the N'Djamena prosecutor's office.
When President Idris Deby Itno was killed more than a year ago at the front against rebels, his son General Mahamat Idris Deby Itno took over the reins of the country at the head of a group of 15 generals who were immediately endorsed by the international community, with Paris in the lead, while other coup officers were subjected to its wrath and sanctions elsewhere in Africa. 7 gas stations belonging to the French oil company Total were vandalized and 12 police officers injured on Saturday during an anti-French demonstration by hundreds of people in N'Djamena, according to a police official who requested anonymity. 5 leaders of the main opposition coalition Wakiti Tama, which organized the march, were arrested in the process. Moussa Wade Jibrin, prosecutor at the court in N'Djamena, said that Ganung Vaima Ganfair, Secretary General of the Union of Trade Unions of Chad, Yusuf Karom Ahmad, Secretary General of the Chadian Merchant Suppliers Union, Massa Hissène Massa, President of the Gathering of Civil Society Leaders, among others, were charged with gathering, causing public disorder, attacking the physical integrity of people, arson and destruction of the property, placed under arrest warrant and incarcerated in the prison of Klesum in the capital. Wakiti Tama considers that they were wrongly arrested for acts of vandalism committed by others on the sidelines or after its demonstration and demands their immediate release. Several opposition parties and rebel movements are also demanding their release.
Let's once again take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. In our business news today from May 9th to May 14th, some 35 designers from West Africa and Europe showcased their clothes in Ouagadougou for Fashion Week, and for the first time, the majority of designers were local. It is the first since the pandemic appeared. Models are finally back on the catwalk for the third edition of the Ouanga Fashion Week.
Some 35 designers chosen from approximately 200 applicants from West Africa and Europe showcased their clothing lines in the Burkinabe capital. This edition will go down in history because the majority of designers were locals, which is a source of pride for the director of the event, Alex Zabsonre. Before African fashion takes the international stage, the industry continues to thrive on the continent. However, some Burkinabe designers fear the insecurity linked to terrorist groups that has killed thousands will reverse decades of progress in the sector. Despite the hardships, the country is one of the top 10 cotton exporters in the world, and a generation of young designers take on the baton to promote Burkinabe fashion, even if it is a hard industry to break into. If fashion schools are expensive in the country, events like Ouanga Fashion Week contribute to triggering the interest of local creators so that some realize that they fit quite well for that field.
In our health news today, as the world commemorated the World Hypertension Day, which is observed on 17th May, experts say the disease is emerging as a major silent killer in Uganda and East Africa. According to Uganda's health ministry, the disease accounts for an estimated 500,000 deaths every year. The ministry blamed the deaths on bad eating habits and poor lifestyles.
According to Dr. Fatima Nachintu, a cardiologist at Uganda's Mulago National Referral Hospital in the capital Kampala, those numbers are certainly saddening because they could have been easily much lower if the population took necessary steps. The World Health Organization also believes that 1 in 3 adults in the landlocked country suffers from hypertension and 13% suffer from heart disease. According to the Ethiopian-based Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 1/4 of deaths due to cardiovascular disease are preventable. Speaking to Anadolu Agents, Silence Zuriat, a senior medical scientist working with the health ministry, said lifestyle is mainly responsible for rising cases of hypertension. She said the process not only weakens the heart but also blocks enough oxygen to vital organs such as the kidneys, eyes and liver, causing cell damage. She urged the public to eat a balanced diet and consume foods that can help lower their cholesterol, like vegetables and grains. Scientists say that exercising 30 minutes several times a week is enough to keep hypertension away.
And in sports, Vipers AC progressed to the final of the Stanbic Uganda Cup after overcoming Mbarara City in the return leg on Tuesday at St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende. The Venoms, who are now chasing a domestic double, had won the first leg 2-1 at Kacheka Stadium, completed the damage at home with a convincing 4-0. We have more.
Milton Karisa, Yunus Sentham and Bobos Biaruhanga were all on target for the Venoms, while the other was an own goal by Mbarara City defender Ronald Oti. Whereas Vipers SC were dominant, the first half ended goalless, but eventually managed to get clinical after interval. Vipers got the opening goal in the 49th minute through an own goal by defender Oti. 10 minutes later, Milton Karisa doubled the advantage before Sentham and Biaruhanga added the other 2 goals. Vipers SC now await the winner between Bull and Boma to determine their opponent in the final. Bull FC and Boma FC will face off on Wednesday at Chabazinga Stadium in Bugembe. The former won the first leg 5-1 in Masindi.
That wraps up our news today. Please do stay tuned. More programming coming your way.